So just when you thought it was spring, it gets all cold again. Had a bit of snow last night. It's mostly melted off, but it's still sitting at 0, so we're still packing water to the horses across the creek. So it got up to 2 degrees today, so just enough that things are getting a little bit sloppy. And the creek opened up a bit again. Well, it was gone for a couple of days. It froze up, so Polly had to fight with the water. So we're going to take a walk over up the hayfield, check out where the cows are eating, and then go find out where they're hiding. Doesn't look like anything has actually started to grow yet, but it's got to be getting awfully close. If you look at this field, maybe just a titch of green here and there. We'll take a wander up and see where the cows are hiding after we check their hay pile. Well, this is a round bale I gave them on the weekend. It's Friday now, so looks like another day or two to clean that up. At least I'm hoping. Let's go for a walk. So the cows have managed, looks like, snap off one of the steel posts here. So I guess better move that back out of the way. For now, have to come back and do some repairs on this fence here. They also smashed the electric fence that was here. I bet it was Ferdinand with his horns, probably itching on the post. So we're gonna have to make sure we protect our electric fences. We have to decide how we're going to extend this wheel line and possibly realign this fence here. Look at that. Definitely a little bit of green starting to show up here. Let's see if the cows are hanging out down here in the swamp. Quite often they're sleeping down under these spruce trees here. Oh yes, I see cows. There's 2. Oh, and I hear movement over in the swamp. We'll walk down there, see what we can see. But I definitely see critters hiding over here. Do you see them in the woods there? Let me zoom in so you can see. There's Ferdy. The horizontal branches give him away. I'm assuming that's probably Bossy down there as well. Moving through the trees. This has been really good. The cows have actually started to really open up this area. It's one of our goals to get this area more accessible. A lot of deadwood in here. But there's Ferdinand again for you. I think there's somebody else maybe behind him, or that's a stump, I'm not sure. We'll cut over to the right here so we're not crowding them. Not sure who that is. Cut over here a little bit more and see what else we can see. Now there's a Ferdinand in the woods. I think we'll just wander down the trail a little bit. Oh yeah, I see somebody else in behind Ferdinand there. I see the white and the black. So that's everybody accounted for. Let's see what we can see. Jump over the creek here. Not really the creek, it's just a little drainage. Come up here a little bit just so we can see things a bit better. They're definitely smashing stuff down, which is great. Hello, Ferdinand. And that must be Bossy disappearing back into the trees over there, because she's the least social of all of them. Making a run for it. Yeah. So I think I'm going to walk the loop. We've gone past the cows here. We see where they are now. And then what I'm going to do is loop down towards the eastern edge of the property here. And then cross the creek, which I'm hoping is frozen, so I can just walk over it. And then we'll walk back up the old fire guard. Oops, goes my hat. Yeah, looks like the cows have been down through this area, which is what I like to see, and push some trails through, opening it up. I mean, the deer trails are great, but they're a lot harder to get through than the ones that the cows open up. The only downside of the cow trails is you have to be short. You can see the main trail we're on right here. Duck around some branches here. You can see the broken bits where the cows have plowed through, which is what we want. So this area here is probably one of the lowest spots on our property. It's quite soft, as you can see by the way it's all hummocky. But it does grow a great crop of grass in the spring. So I'm hoping to get the cows down on here for the spring. And then that hillside you're looking across the way over here, this stuff up here, that belongs to one of our neighbors, but he doesn't do anything with it. So we'll probably be able to run the cows on that again this year. All right, let's take a walk down towards the creek. See all the stumps through here? Those are all spruce trees that died out, and I think that's because of the higher water level here. So what we're on right now is also a right of way for a bunch of our neighbors up the hill, so they can access the creek for irrigation water. But I definitely want to try to push this area to my right back a bit more and just start opening up more terrain. We just got so much old alders and stuff coming down. Another big dead spruce tree there. There's more dead down by the creek. But this is all area that the cows will be running through this year. That's our neighbor's pump house. And then basically going back up that way, that's where they ran the fire guard through here, and then down through here, and then around to my right is where the fire guard goes. So let's take a walk down to the creek and see what we can find. Yeah, you can just see our eastern boundary over there. You see the hanging fence across the creek, and then our boundary carries on up over this way. Down the fire guard. I think the cows are coming through here now. I'm not sure exactly. Oh yeah, I see Bossy right back in there. There she is. Making herself scarce. She's not fond of us. I don't think she's fond of anybody, to be quite honest. That's good to see. Look up here and see if I can see any trails coming out. Oh, it looks like it might be a bit of a trail running up there. You can see this ground's all disturbed here. Oh, here's a definite trail coming out through here. Oh yeah, there's the cow trail going in there. And then, oh yeah, I see them now. And then around to my left, it looks like sort of beating a path up through there. And you can see Bossy back over there looking at us. Furs around on their coats, which isn't great, but the nice thing about this is as they eat the burdock, it doesn't actually go to seed until the second year. So all the new growth coming up, the cows are eating off. So I'm hoping over the next couple of years, it should really reduce the amount of burdock we have on the property. So this fence line is what we call the bench fence line. So it runs up the hill this way, and it basically stays at the top of a bench that's above the Barnes Creek, and it does the same thing going this way. And the elevation, well, it actually stays fairly flat. It's actually the creek that drops down, and then later on the landscape. This is one of the things I just don't understand why you don't see more. This is one of the greatest little gadgets for fences, for tensioning them. Kind of hard to demonstrate with the camera, but basically this part hooks over the fence, just like a normal wire fence. You got a wire loop at the bottom, but then to tension it, you just pull on the lever, and it sets the tension nice and tight on the fence. So instead, that runs up above the creek on this side, and then basically does the same thing on this side till it hits our eastern boundary. This fence actually continues and follows the creek through our neighbor's place and slowly curves around to the right till it finally hits the southern boundary. One of the routes up to the back of the property that way. And this, once again, is the fire guard that was put through during the when we had our big forest fire through here. Here's the bench fence, and it's one of the old fences from here because it's got all kinds of different barbed wire in it and old stuff, and a lot of it's routed to trees and then little posts and trees and stuff. But you can see how rapidly the creek drops and the land comes up, so it rapidly becomes quite a nice little bench up above. Okay, back down the fire guard. Well, let's walk along the barn fence up here and just take a look and figure out what we got for projects coming over here. This is where they ran the fire guard up behind the barn here. So there's a lot of stumps and cleanup to do up here. And I'm hoping I can get at least some of this stuff mucked out this year and then this area smoothed up. But you can see the old top wire here needs to be redone. A lot of it's routed off trees, which is less than ideal. Lots of small dead trees along here. I think right in here, probably between this post or between that stump and post, put another post in here, put a wire gate so we can open this up and get the cat back here, and we can skid logs and pull stuff down from up through here. See the mill off in the distance there. And then we'll just walk down to where we're building our new corrals and paddocks. Kind of slippery on the slope here, trying not to end up on my backside. Plan is to put the round corral in here and adds a bit more fencing in here so we close out the hay barn for having access to animals having access to that. This little area will be closed up through here, and what's sort of delaying that is a lot of these big trees here are all snags, so we're going to need to drop them this way into the open area here. That's another one of our spring projects. Let's go over and say hi to the critters. This is where we started our walk. I need to get a lot more lumber cut to finish this fencing here. Hello, Ricky. Hello, Danny. How you guys doing? You gonna come up and see the camera? Hey, old man. What are you this year? 28 or something? And there's Danny in the background. Good boys. Yeah, they're the first in the new paddocks up here. Oh, Danny, don't be so grumpy at them. There we go. Didn't want to leave you all lonely up here, so we brought you a buddy and you make faces at him. Well, I think that's it for today. Give you an idea of what we're doing and what we're planning to do up here in the mountains. Well, that's a bit of a change in the weather.